Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to another weekly home fragrance roundup. This is the video that goes up most Saturdays here on my channel, where I just casually chit chat about all of the home fragrance that I was enjoying around the house over the course of the past week. There's much to discuss this week. It was definitely another week of me trying to incorporate some older candles in my collection, along with some new things that I'm currently testing out to review for you guys. So I feel like I've kind of found this happy medium for myself where in the morning hours I have been warming or burning most of the older fall candles that I have in my collection, and then during the afternoon hours, after kind of airing the house out a little bit, I go back to burning some things that are newer to me, things that I am burning to be able to review them in depth. So yeah, I kind of feel like I found a good little happy medium there. There is a lot that I am trying to work through in terms of my backup stash when it comes to my home fragrance backups, and I've already started to put a little bit of a dent in that collection, and it just honestly feels super good. So anyway, if you are newer to my channel here, first of all, welcome. I hope you stick around. Subscribe if you are new. You can just do that by hitting the subscribe button right below the video here. But again, if you're new, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know that you might want to check out the description box down there for this specific video each week. I like to put where you can find all of the candles that I'm showing here. There are some discount codes from a couple different candle companies that should hopefully save you a little bit of extra money if you're planning on shopping with either of these two retailers. There is also candle sale information for the upcoming sales that are happening this weekend at my personal favorite candle companies. There are some links to some other candle related content that you might find helpful, especially if you are newer to the home fragrance world. Maybe you're just starting to get into candles and wax melts and all of that fun stuff. So lots of information in that description box. Definitely check that out if you are so inclined. But you guys, without further ado, we're gonna get into it. Before I start kind of going through a lot of the stuff that I was burning and melting this week, I want to take you around and show you what I am currently burning and what I am using underneath the candle crocks and lamps that have been active around the house for me this week. So let's go ahead and get into that little tour, and then we'll meet back here and we'll talk some more candles. So, all right, I'll see you guys on the other side. All right, we are going to get started in the kitchen today, and on the kitchen island is the first one of the season. It is one of my beloveds. This is HomeWorx Spiced Apple Crumb. Honestly, this reminds me of the apple crumb candle that Bath & Body Works had out many moons ago. I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually Harry that developed that fragrance for Bath & Body Works. I don't remember the exact timing of that particular apple crumb fragrance being released, but honestly, this HomeWorx version here smells exactly like the Bath & Body Works version. In fact, I just discovered that I have a spiced apple crumb left over from back in the day, so I'll be busting that out this year and enjoying it. But I believe this one is currently available. I'll double check, and I'll be sure to link this one especially in the description box down below, because it is so good, you guys. Is it terribly exotic? No, it's a spiced apple crumb fragrance, but boy, does she have some oomph behind her. I believe this one here is maybe from 2019 or 2020. I can't remember what the date was on the bottom, but it was definitely from a while ago because it did come with one of the more solid metal lids. I think what I did is I probably purchased multiple sets of 2 from QVC. So anyway, I have plenty of these to enjoy during this fall season, and I certainly hope the fragrance sticks around overall because, like I said, it's heavenly and just incredibly well done. So let's move on. Here in the dining room, I am enjoying my HomeWorx Pumpkin Cold Brew. I actually just recently did an in-depth review of this new fragrance for fall 2024 from HomeWorx, so I will link that in the description box down below. Loving the fragrance, and I'm having a really great performance experience with this one as well. So no issues with the wicks, no issues with the wax. It just seems to be a good solid burn with a pretty decent strength and throw. So if you're looking for what I would consider a pretty safe bet from HomeWorx, this would definitely be one of them. Again, check out the in-depth review if you're curious about this one. But I'm really enjoying it, and I actually am planning on purchasing a backup of this one. So I really have no business doing that. If you've been following me here for a little while, you know that I am on a little bit of a journey to use up specifically my huge backup stash of my HomeWorx candles. I have quite a few fall candles to get through this year, but based on how well I did with the spring summer fragrances, I have no doubt that I'm going to whittle that collection down by hopefully more than half by the time that fall has ended and I've moved on to holiday burning. But this is one where I'm really enjoying the fragrance so much that it's actually worthwhile for me to grab an extra of it. So you'll be seeing more of this one, but let's go ahead and move on to the powder room downstairs. In the powder room downstairs, I have the Cringle Artist Collection Ghost Spirits fragrance. Now, I am actually just past the halfway point for this one, so I will be sharing my in-depth review here shortly. But first of all, this is not a Halloween fragrance. Let me just get that out of the way. It is not one of those scents that I stuck my nose into and immediately thought, oh yes, this is a great fall fragrance, or this is a great take on like a Halloween fragrance. This is definitely more of a fresh, I would say, borderline floral. It's a really lovely scent, which is why I have been burning it so much, but it's not fall at all. So the reason that I want to review this, however, is that I have a feeling that at some point, probably towards the end of the year when Cringle does their yearly clearance event, that some of these artist collection fragrances that are more in the, I would say, fresh or floral category, I think those are going to go at a really great price point, and I would encourage you to keep this one in mind if you are a little bit of a seasonal burner like I am. You might actually really enjoy this one next spring and summer. So I want to put a bug in your ear to not forget about the fragrance. And if you don't want to pick it up now, if you want to, kind of wait until the end of year clearance to see what the pricing is going to be, I just want you guys to remember this one. It is actually, like I said, a really lovely fragrance. It just doesn't scream fall or Halloween to me. That being said, it is one of the most fancy lady, lovely, like bathroom type fragrances that I've ever had going down here in this little old powder room of ours. So great scent, just I think released in the wrong season. So at any rate, for what it's worth, I really like this one. And the image is absolutely adorable. It has these cute little ghosts in like a little like forest scene. It's adorable. I just know that this is one where I think a lot of people are going to end up skipping it, and it would be a little bit of a bummer to miss out on this one, I think. But obviously, if you're not feeling the vibe of the collection, if you're just not ready to deal with spring and summer fragrances anymore at this point, I completely understand skipping over this one, but I just wanted to put in the good word that it actually is just a great scent in and of itself. But anyway, let's move on, you guys. Let's talk some lamps and let's talk some Crocs. Here in the downstairs laundry room, I am currently melting my very last, and it definitely bums me out, but this is my very last Yankee Candle Tarte Tatin, which was a European exclusive. I was able to find this many, many years ago at my local Yankee Candle outlet down in Woodburn here in Oregon. I believe that Yankee Candle outlet has now closed. Super bummed, but I feel like a lot of the Yankee physical locations, whether it's their regular stores or their outlet stores, have been slowly eliminated over the last like 4 or 5 years. I don't know. While I have not shopped with Yankee on a regular basis, it does bum me out to see them just kind of going the way of the dodo. I imagine that at some point in the near future, we will have no Yankee candle stores and we will just be relegated to purchasing the candles online if we want them. So I don't know. I'm still going to be giving Yankee another try this fall. I have a trip planned to the other side of town. It's just a little bit of a commute to get to the one store that's still open in our area. So it's, you know, not a trip that I want to like make lightly. I want to make sure I have some other business as well on that side of town so I can just get everything over with in one trip. But yes, I do plan on picking up some of the fall offerings. And if I happen to go during a time where maybe they already have some Christmas preview items out, I would also consider picking up some Christmas things from Yankee as well. But I am in need of my cranberry chutney, so it's time. It is time for me to return and at the very least pick up some signature jars in the cranberry chutney fragrance. But anyway, this Tarte Tatin is doing much better in the crock than it ever did burning. The strength and throw is just increased immensely in the candle crock. And by the way, this was their more, I guess you could say, original paraffin formulation that I have here. So paraffin, it just melts better in a crock than it performs when it's burning. I also find the like soot and like discoloration of the wax to be a little bit off-putting when it comes to paraffin, and this is why I have basically completely almost transitioned to other types of wax, soy being my favorite, but also coconut is a great wax to check out, apricot. There's a lot of different vegetable blends as well. So anyway, loving the fragrance. Sad that it's my last one, but I know I'll get at least another solid week out of this one. It's been performing like a champ in here. So we'll have this one around next week, but the following week after that, I'll have to find something else to plop in here. So, all right, let's move on to my office. Welcome to my office. I do have a beautiful candle lamp in here that I've been using quite frequently. This one does have a timer on it. So I have had the timer set for 2 8-hour melting sessions, if you will, per day. And you know what? I have yet to pour off the first layer of wax here. And this has been going since last week at this point, with the same layer of wax. This is HomeWorx Autumn Pine Cone. Now this is the, I think, very first iteration of Autumn Pine Cone. It came in a trio with the, it was a kettle corn fragrance, and then I think it was also, was it Autumn Pumpkin? Oh my gosh, don't quote me on that. Maybe it was Harvest Leaves. I think it may have been Harvest Leaves. I'm gonna go with Harvest Leaves. All three great fragrances. The kettle corn was a little bit intense in terms of the overall sweetness from that set, and so I did pass a couple of those along and then also melted some of them myself. I almost gave up all of my Autumn Pine Cones because it is a much more masculine type of fragrance. This is a little bit, I would say, perfumey or maybe cologne-y to my nose. That being said, my nose is changing these days. There's a lot of stuff happening in my body that I think is having an effect on my scent preferences, to be perfectly honest. I used to think this scent was just fine, but honestly, I've really kind of fallen in love with it during the last couple of weeks, and I do regret passing along so many of these Autumn Pine Cones. That being said, I'm sure this fragrance will make a return at some point. It was pretty popular back when it was first released, and I know a lot of people enjoy it. So I don't know, if you are in Camp Autumn Pine Cone, let HomeWorx know. Go to their social media, let them know that you want this one to come back. It's truly a beautiful fragrance. So anyway, I will probably be pouring off this first layer of wax in the next couple of days because I do think it's starting to wane just a little bit, but so far I'm still smelling it, so we're still melting the same layer. At the top of the stairs, I have another one of my candle lamps, and I have been warming the Root Candle Pinot Noir fragrance on and off now for the last couple of weeks. With this one again, I have yet to pour off the first layer of wax. It's not going right now because I actually have the Scentsy warmer that is also at the top of the stairs here going. So I try to do one or the other for this upstairs hallway, and right now the Scentsy is winning out with the Holly Jolly cider. So, but I know that throughout this weekend we'll definitely be warming up the Pinot Noir. I don't know if this fragrance is still available over at Root, but if you are looking for a good boozy wine fragrance, this one is top notch. If you can at all grab this anywhere, I would highly suggest it. But if you want something that is pretty close, I would say check out Cringle Reserve California Cab if it's available, or maybe even the Merlot from the Reserve line as well. But this one here, fantastic, been enjoying it, just don't have it going right now. We are now upstairs in the master bedroom, and in the candle crock in here, I have been enjoying the Bath & Body Works Vanilla Romance. I did an in-depth review of this one. I think it was last week that it went up. Anyway, great fragrance, love it. Actually reminds me of one of my favorite perfumes. That being said, the candle was extremely weak in terms of strength and throw, which is, again, something I'm not really used to with Bath & Body Works. Out of all of the issues that I've had throughout the years with Bath & Body Works candles, strength and throw has never been that much of an issue. It is now, which is unfortunate, but overall, the burn quality otherwise was fine, and it's a great scent. I just couldn't smell it very well, so I opted to go ahead and burn it to the halfway point, plop it in this candle crock, and you know what? It's doing so much better in here. So while I'm not getting the ambiance of, you know, the flame, the flickering flame, if you will, I always have other candles going, and this is a really great background fragrance, especially in a bedroom setting. So if you're interested in this one, I would say maybe go in with an open mind in terms of potentially needing to do something else with this one. And who knows, this could have been a dud, but I don't know. I've heard some other people say that this one was quite light for them as well. So it's really too bad because, again, the scent itself is mwah, chef's kiss. Reminds me a little bit of my beloved The Seven Virtues Vanilla Woods. I have an absolute obsession with that perfume, and anytime I can find something even remotely similar in home fragrance, I'm all over it. So I will repurchase this dud. I know I'm repurchasing a dud, but listen, it's not a dud when it's in the candle crock, so still a winner. By the way, this is one of the candle crocks that I have linked down below for you, so if you're in the market for a great neutral option, this ivory one is fantastic. The white one that I have linked down below is also equally as good. They're from the same company, and I just prefer these more neutral design choices. A lot of these candle crocks tend to have inspirational or religious quotes on them, or they tend to be kind of kitschy with, you know, a lot of like cartoony characters on them, and that just, I don't know, that doesn't really float my decor boat, if you will. So yeah, these neutral ones I think are perfect. All right, you guys, let's move on to the very last candle crock. We are now at the very last candle crock that has been in use throughout the week this week, and in here is my beloved pumpkin wreath from Yankee Candle. This is another one of those candles from Yankee that I found and purchased in bulk at the outlet store down in Woodburn. I think I maybe bought like between 15 and 20 of these. And over the years, just because I really stopped burning paraffin candles a little while ago here, I have kind of been both gifting these out and then occasionally melting them in my crocks during the fall. I think I have maybe 3 or 4 left, and I will be melting those over the course of the fall this year, and I might even have one left over to warm next fall. I did try to light this one, and it was pretty light in terms of strength and throw, but it's an absolute beast of a powerhouse fragrance in the candle crock. And I think the reason is that in a crock, you are melting all of the wax at once. And so you are essentially, you have access to all of the fragrance oils within that candle, and they will slowly dissipate out of that wax over the course of 2 to 3 weeks, depending on, you know, how much wax you had to begin with. But I absolutely adore these crocks. I just don't think that there is a more useful candle accessory out there besides the lamps. But I know a lot of people don't want to pour off wax. They can find that kind of messy. So really, if that's you and if the bulk of your candles fit into a crock, then I would say just be a crock person. It's definitely easy. Once all of the fragrance oils have been extracted and you can no longer smell anything, just turn the crock off. Let the wax harden, then you can lift it out and you can melt something else or give your crock a break. So for me, I think my crocks are going to be pretty busy this fall and holiday season because there's a few things that I already have set aside just to specifically put in these crocks. And who knows, I might have a candle dud here and there. So, you know, I could melt for days. I do have a video that I will have linked down below that shows what I do with some of the leftover wax. I can't use all of it because quite frankly, I do have a lot of wax available to me that has been melted. But I only need so many fire starters each year. So anyway, I show you in that video how I actually reuse my wax. And yeah, if you are a camping person or you have an outdoor fireplace at your house, this is a great use for your leftover wax. So check that video out, like I said, in the description box. And without further ado, we are now done with the tour. Let's go back downstairs and talk about what else I was burning and melting over the course of the last week. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that little tour of what's currently happening around the house. Smells pretty good in here, if I do say so myself. By the way, I am a little bit congested today. I am dealing with a little, I guess, end of summer cold, if you will. I've kind of been fighting this thing all week, but it just keeps lingering. So I hope that by the start of next week that this thing will have mostly worked its way out of my system. But I might be taking some frequent breaks here to take some sips of tea. So pardon any of the potential interruptions. Also, if you see this in the periphery here, it's my curtain. I'm sitting in front of an open window. It's supposed to be 95 degrees today, but it's still somewhat cool outside right now. But I know I'm gonna have to close this window here in a few minutes, but I just kind of wanted to air out what I was burning this morning and, you know, kind of get ready for the afternoon burns. So one of my favorite ways to clear out the house in terms of like fragrances that might be very different from one part of the day to the next part of the day is to just open my windows. Like I'm talking all of them. I open them all. I let the breeze come through, kind of clear everything out of the house. And then I will start anew with some different fragrances for the afternoon and then again for the evening hours. So anyway, you guys, so much to discuss. So let's dive in. I'm going to get started with the 3 candles that I managed to finish this week. It was another week where I was, again, balancing what I wanted to burn from my backup stash with new things that I'm reviewing here for my channel. So in the morning hours, I have mostly been enjoying the like older candles in my collection, and then I've dedicated the afternoon and evening hours to burning the newer things that I'm reviewing. So that's kind of how I've been balancing everything. All right, we're gonna get started with a praline pecan, which is currently available again from HomeWorx. Listen, I love this candle, and I mean, it burned like a champ. There were no issues with this one at all. There was a little, no, not even. That was a pretty clean burn. I was gonna say there's like some discoloration at the top, but I think it's just the shadow from the pecan picture coming through. But what year was this one from? This was a 2021 pour, and I think I purchased these in sets of 2, probably from QVC. I'm not sure if this is available at Q right now or just at the Rakuten & Co website. Yeah, I don't recall, but wherever it is, I'll link it down below. But Great fragrance, love it. Have, I think, actually probably 3 or 4 more of these. I will be enjoying them throughout the fall as well as this holiday season, because I do think this kind of nutty, toffee, pecan-y type scent is great, not only for the fall, but also, again, throughout the holidays as well. So really loving this one. I finished my first Harvest hot chocolate, and you guys, I went through this like in record time, and she had a great burn. There is quite a bit of wax that's left after the wick clips extinguish themselves. It's not like a ton of wax. Well, here, let's lift this lid up. So if you're curious about these HomeWorx labels, they're just essentially shrink wrapped onto the jar. So if you don't ever like one of these labels, just score it with a sharp object, like a knife or a pair of scissors or something, and it will immediately peel off. You don't have to worry about glue or anything, but you can see down here that there's a little light layer of wax left. Not anything that is like upsetting to me, but sometimes you'll get a HomeWorx candle where literally almost all of the wax dissipates, and sometimes you'll be left with this. You just kind of never know until the candles extinguish themselves. I'm not sure what the difference is, because I feel like the wick clips on this are just as high as the wick clips on these others, and they're from 2 completely different years. This is a 2023. Where's the date? Is it a 2020? Yeah, this is the 2024. Sorry. This is a 2024 pour. But yeah, anyway. That's a pretty recent pour, actually. 7/5/24. Okay, well, that's great. All right, let's go. I went through this in record time this week. I have an in-depth review coming up of this one tomorrow. This is Mummy Marshmallow from HomeWorx. Oh, you guys. You know what I don't think I said this in the video, but this kind of reminds me of the vanilla marshmallow, or was it marshmallow vanilla? It's one of those two. That was at Bath and Body Works several years ago for the very first time. I think it might be back this year, but it's just this like creamy vanilla, like very pure marshmallow. Not a roasted marshmallow, not a toasted marshmallow. It's definitely more of like you're sticking your face into a bag of fresh like jet puff marshmallows. This is delightful. And listen, I said in my review, which again you'll see tomorrow, basically if you don't like the label, or you want to enjoy this particular fragrance year round because it's just a great gourmand period with a really good performance, peel these labels off, right? Like they're just, like I said, shrink wrapped on, so you can totally take this off and you could have this gorgeous vanilla scent to enjoy year round. Obviously, this is very specific Halloween decor, so, you know, this label might not appeal to everybody, but like I said, it's easy enough to just get rid of those. This one came with a black lid, which, nice touch, but I don't know. You guys, where's it? Okay, here's one. I miss these old lids. I know that I keep kind of complaining about it, but I really thought we were getting these old metal lids back, and I just don't think it's gonna happen. At this point, I think we're stuck with these lids. So if you have a lot of older HomeWorx candles that either have the silver or these kind of more limited edition, like special colored or special design lids that are the heavier metal, keep them. You can wash them to get, you know, the fragrance out of whatever might be lingering in the lid here out, but you can reuse these on your newer candles that come with these. They're still metal. These are still metal lids, but they just feel so much cheaper. And they also, I think, have a cheaper look to them. So that being said, you know, like I kept a bunch of these, so I'm just putting those on my new ones. For example, I put this kind of pretty like gold toned one onto the cinnamon vanilla, which, by the way, I have now officially burned just past the halfway point. So I'll be giving you guys a review of this one probably, oh shoot, I guess not next week. Maybe I'll do a couple of just one-off bonus videos. So next week is supposed to be my fall decorate with me series here on my channel. So if you've always looked at, you know, a lot of my background decor and you'd like to see how I actually go about decorating my house, watch that decorate with me series. There's another one that is coming during the holidays as well. So, and this year I'll be uploading that a little bit earlier than normal. I usually start the first week of December in terms of releasing those videos, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and release them the week of Thanksgiving this year. So that way, when most of you are ready to start decorating your house, you know, maybe the weekend after Thanksgiving, maybe it'll give you a little bit of inspiration, maybe encourage you to try to use some of what you already have in a different way to kind of change up the look a little bit and refresh things, if only for yourself, because I know it can get boring using the same decor over and over again. So you can use things differently and dramatically change the overall vibe that, you know, you might be trying to achieve. So anyway, love this. We'll discuss more either next week or the following week, but I really love that fragrance. It's super basic. There's nothing special about it. But man, does it make a great blender fragrance. Man, does it just make a great background, like just existing in life type of fragrance. It is so pleasant. It's so pleasant. All right, let's move on to, let's talk some Cringle. All right, this week I have been burning Salted Maple Pumpkin. There is an in-depth review coming of this one. I only had this one lit, I think once this week. But it's a great maple caramel type fragrance. I definitely don't easily gravitate towards these because I do find that a lot of maple, a lot of caramel fragrances tend to come across as a little bit cloying or just overly sweet to my nose. But this one here is one that is done really well. So I'm actually really excited about this particular scent, even though it's not a normal go-to fragrance note, like I said, but I'm really enjoying this one. One that you will also see a review of tomorrow is this Maple Woods, and I just want to warn you right now that while I think this fragrance for what it is incredibly well done, I don't really personally care for the fragrance myself. I think it's a nice one. It's not that it's like awful to my nose. It's just not something that I naturally gravitate towards normally, and I haven't really been finding myself, you know, just reaching for this naturally. It's more of a like, okay, let's light it up because we need to burn it for another 4-hour session so we can see how it does, and so I can, you know, put a review of it up. But here's the thing, just because I don't like the fragrance doesn't mean you won't like the fragrance. So the review of this is going live tomorrow. So if you're interested in it, it's much more of a woody maple. There's gourmand aspects to it, but it also has some non-gourmand aspects. And I'm just not sure the two like jive really well together in my mind. That being said, stay tuned. Really love this one. I really love this fragrance, and I really like the label on this one too. This is the Cute Black Cat on a Pumpkin. This one sold out within like 8 minutes of being released from the Artist Collection for Halloween 2024. I've already done an in-depth review of this one, and I tell you what, it is such a great fragrance. There's this really lovely spiciness to this one. It's just, again, it's that perfect amount of spice where it's not overdone. It's not, I don't know, it's just really enjoyable. It's just, I don't know, it's like the epitome of fall. You know, it's like the pumpkin carving scent from Bath and Body Works, where like it's something that once you stick your nose in it, you're like, yeah, I really like this. I'm a big fan of this. I would love to have this every single year. So I do think that Cringle probably got an earful about this one selling out so quickly. I kind of figured it would. I didn't even get my hands on it because I was like distracted by the dog, and I had it in my cart. I actually had a few things in my cart, and by the time that I walked back to the computer, probably maybe like 5-10 minutes later, it had already sold out. So that was definitely annoying, and it did cause me to delay placing my order personally, because then I was like, well, I might as well just wait for some of these other things to come in stock so I can save on shipping essentially. So There's still another Cringle fall haul coming your way here shortly, but sadly it won't be another one of these, but what are you gonna do? I do have pumpkin carving, and so I can enjoy that this year once I run out of this one. But yeah, adorable label, perfect fall fragrance. And the entire collection should have been similar to what this one is, and there's quite a few florals in there. So this, I love this. I love it. I love it. And this is another one where I have 2 of these in my cart right now. This is Warm and Toasty, and this is new for fall 2024. Ooh, guys, listen. If you like Marshmallow Fireside, but you're looking for a more interesting hearth or smoky note, this has cedar in it, and it really does smell like a charred cedar, and it pairs so well with that toasted marshmallow note. This really is a toasted marshmallow in here. The smoke that they used for this is so sophisticated, but like just yummy smelling. It just plays so well with that toasted marshmallow. There's some amber in here as well. It's just good. I did do an in-depth review of this one this week, and it's definitely my wow, wow, wow fragrance for fall 2024. This is the one. This, and there's a couple of others that I just keep coming back to that I've fallen in love with. There's some, I think there's some new staples in my collection when it comes to fall fragrances from Cringle for sure this year. All right, I did also do an in-depth review of Spirit's Call. I've been burning all of the candles from both the black classic Cringle jars, the Spellbound collection, as well as the Artist collection. So there's still a lot more of these in-depth reviews that are coming. But this one here, look at how much I've burned of this one already. I've been burning this one outside in our backyard. This is so intensely smoky. This is a very, what I would call true Halloween type of vibe. Intensely smoky, not much else going on here other than just different types of smokiness. But it's good. Like, this is a really great hearth fragrance. There is a patchouli in here that normally isn't my favorite type of patchouli, in that this particular one really does lean a little bit more towards like that dirty hippie patchouli versus that really pretty perfumey patchouli that I normally love. But in this fragrance, that dirty patchouli makes so much sense that it's actually, I would say, enjoyable. So I think I found my first dirty hippie patchouli fragrance that really kind of rocks my world. So big fan. Now, am I going to hoard it? No, not something like this, but I'm really glad that I got to try it, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. And if you like smoky fragrances, I'm telling you, think about picking this one up. It's really, really good. All right. Tomorrow you will see my in-depth review of the Above Love candles that I have kind of been teasing here. These are 4 fragrances from the fall, 2 from the fall and 2 from the Halloween line from Above Love. I was sent these in PR, but all opinions expressed will still be my own. OG was actually kind enough to send me some more of her candles to test out for you guys. So I'll be burning those here in the coming weeks. I think I will share the candles in a first sniff impressions haul video as a bonus video this next week. I have not even dug into the box. It's just sitting there. I really love doing these true first impressions. So I'm gonna leave them sitting there until I'm ready to film the video. But I will say, these are, they're all 1 wick candles, and they are in this like 6-ounce size here. So they're not terribly large. These do not do a great job of scenting my open concept areas down here. I do have to pair 3 of them together to get more of that effect. But that being said, if you have a more, like, I don't want to say like normal size house, because like what's a normal house anymore, but if you have a home that has more enclosed spaces versus like open concept like I have here, or if you happen to have lower ceilings, I think these are going to do even better in your house. But upstairs in the master bedroom, where I've mostly been testing these, they do incredibly well. And this one here, which is her smoked butterscotch latte, this is delightful. So this is one that I think is absolutely worth checking out fragrance wise. So and I love the fact that she adds these little charms. I just think they're so sweet. So I'll be keeping these after I finish these candles. But more to come from Above Love here shortly. One Bath & Body Works candle that I was burning pretty regularly this week that I also shared an in-depth review of already is the Pumpkin S'mores. I love this one. I will say, I think the last burn started to go a little downhill, as you can see there. It's not terrible. I would still consider burning this one a little bit more. I am past the halfway point. I am to right here. So I think I might be able to get away with finishing this one. We'll see if it gets much dirtier than this. That being said, I already have a backup of it, and it's so, so good. I love this one. I was really surprised to see a lot of people saying that this one was really light for them. There seems to be quite a bit of inconsistencies with Bath & Body Works, well, with a few candle companies right now. But one of the things that I'm noticing from a lot of my Bath & Body Works candles is that they are not quite as strong in terms of strength and throw, and that is definitely a bummer. And here he is, late to work yet again. Sir, the audience has been waiting for you. Oh my goodness, you guys. Oh, let's see if my camera, there he is. There's Alf. Say hi, everyone. Oh, that's a lovely burp. All right, I think he's gonna try to settle into my lap here for the last part of the video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that little burp from him. What a gentleman. What a gentleman. All right, you guys, it is now time to talk some wax melts, and I have been melting up a storm this week. We've got quite a bit in here. First of all, I finished the last couple of the Holly Jolly Cider, which was released last holiday season. This is a great like apple cider fragrance. Listen, I think this is actually better for fall than it is for the holidays, so I've been rocking the heck out of this one. It is gorgeous and a solid performer. If I can open it, there we go. I love the cider note in here. It's just incredibly well done. I really hope this one comes back this year. I also finished the super messy, super juicy baked apple pie from my club order. If you have a club, you can qualify for a half price item once you reach a certain price point. And I have usually opted to get the bricks for like $12.50 as my like half price item. It's $12.50 when it's at half price. So anyway, I like this fragrance a lot. I actually have it in the regular bars as well, but I think it actually performs better in the regular bars than this club brick does. The only reason I keep buying the club bricks is because even though they kind of fizzle out a lot faster than the like regular Scentsy bars do, they're still worth picking up for the price point. Even if I have to change the wax a little bit more frequently, yeah, still worth it. So, okay. I have a couple more Scentsy bars here that I want to mention, and then we have a non-Scentsy related item. So currently I am melting both of these in the warmers that you see on behind me and kind of throughout the house. So I have toasted apple butter here. I don't remember when I purchased either one of these. One or potentially both could be Bring Back My Bar type fragrances. I have no idea. Sometimes I will just mix those in. And unless they have a specific like Bring Back My Bar sticker, I don't usually remember if they're Bring Back My Bar or not. So, but this toasted apple butter smells like actual toasted apple butter. I love apple butter in the fall. So delicious. I actually want to make some this year. but this has the perfect amount of spice to it, the perfect amount of apple, and it just really does smell like the delicious apple butter that you can make or purchase and spread on your toast on a cold fall morning. So good. Man, this makes me happy. This is one of those happy fragrances. I just adore it. I actually think this is better than the baked apple pie. Now, there's no crust note in here, but there is a crust note in the apple pie. So, but I feel like also that apple pie focuses a little bit more on the apple pie filling. It is really windy right now. I'm hoping that the camera is not picking up the leaves rustling in the background, but it probably is. Sorry about that. One last wax melt to talk about here. This is Scarlet Sunflower. I'm fairly certain this was a Bring Back My Bar. What a beautiful, sophisticated, stunning floral this is. Although I don't think it smells like sunflowers. I don't know what flowers exactly I'm smelling here, but it's definitely floral. But it's a very warm, sophisticated, very modern floral fragrance and very perfumey at the same time. This just smells pretty. And honestly, in the warmers, like I have this one going in this room here, it is beautiful. Like this, I'm actually kind of sad that I didn't put this in my club. Like that's how sad I am about only having one of these. What a great fragrance. They should bring this one back, but because I love it, that means they won't. It's just how it works, I feel like, when it comes to home fragrance for me. Okay, I have a L3 Waxy Wonders. I think they call these Bitty Betty scented wax loaves. Okay, so I got these from a friend. She offered to send me some of her like extra wax, and I just offered her like to pay for it, or pay for some of it. So, but she sent me a ton. She sent me like a lot. So I have slowly kind of been grabbing some wax melts that I think kind of go well with some of the other things that I have going in terms of wax melts. So I opted to pull out this Cashmere Cedar, Boardwalk, and Mallow Clouds bar. This cute little loaf, right? I do think that L3 Waxy Wonders is a, it's a small vendor wax company that I think is going to be closing their business in maybe, I think I heard like September. So I'm not sure if you can still purchase from this particular vendor. I'm not a huge vendor wax person. I definitely tried a few different brands and I really liked what I smelled, but I just found the fragrance to dissipate quite quickly out of the vendor wax. And admittedly, I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to changing out my wax. I mean, I usually do it every 2 to 3 days with Scentsy, but I find that with vendor wax, I almost have to do it on a daily basis, and that's just a lot of work that I'm not ready to sign up for. But man, this fragrance was so good. I was a little iffy at first, especially with that cashmere cedar note. Should not have been nervous. This is a beautiful fragrance. I would actually love more of this. It's very warm, very cozy. There's a really nice vanilla base that runs through this one. It's a little bit of like a perfumey vanilla, but it's just a very warm, comforting, definitely a touch of a woodiness in here from the cedar, but it's not a heavy cedar. It's not like the woodiness like I'm talking about from the, grabbed all the wrong ones, but the maple woods. Like this has like a much more like, I would say, masculine woody note. This is in a way, and I feel weird saying this, but almost like a gourmand woody note. I don't know, man. It just smells so good. I'm so glad I popped this in, but it did only last a day. So I just used my little wax chopper, this thing here, to chop the bar up. It's very easy, and yeah, it was just cute. It's just very cute. I will say, vendor wax, when it comes to like packaging and presentation, it's definitely a lot cuter than just, you know, popping your wax into cubes like this. But you know, I don't know, whatever floats your boat when it comes to wax melts. Let me know if you are team vendor wax or if you prefer shopping from like Better Homes and Gardens or Scentsy or Cringle wax melts, or I mean, who doesn't offer wax melts these days. So let me know what your favorite brand is for wax melts. I really appreciate you guys being here today. I hope you stay tuned for tomorrow's in-depth candle reviews. Be sure to check the description box for all of the references that I mentioned, and you guys are fantastic. Thanks for being here. Subscribe if you're new. Give this video a thumbs up. Alpha and I say a big fat thank you for being here, and we will see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.